Hey, some of you would like to know if you have integrated the skill level manager to MST Pro, and if you gain like an attribute point or whatever, how can we use such a point? In the current situation, it's not implemented. The attribute points are just there to be freely used. However, if you want to have an example how it can be used, this is it. So first of all, I navigate to my main menu in game. What I did, here we normally have a screen with the normal attributes, but we want to have attribute points and we want to be able to assign them to increase like maximum health if we have an attribute point available. So what I did, I got this UI screen of the skill levels. That's this one. I duplicated it. Upon duplicating, I removed the skills in the middle, and I made a new UI screen with this header called attribute points. I'm going to open it up for you. This header with attribute points and something in it, and that is the UI player stats attribute buttons. What is this one? I'm going to navigate to that one for you. In the current project, you can find the UI player stats. I duplicated this one, and I made sure upon duplication, I am enabling all these buttons. On the right here, it shows use button. So I selected all of them and clicked use button. And this will display that button on the right. If it does display not correctly, like it's not aligned properly, then please navigate here, click on the progress bar button and disable do not override with size box. If that one is true, then it might look something like this. Now, there's another addition that I made because I would like to be able to bind on this button really easy. So what I did, I clicked on this progress bar button of the progress bar master. I scrolled down and clicked on clicked. And what I'm doing, when it's clicked, then I'm calling an event dispatcher called progress bar button clicked. And what does this do? Well, now when we have that event dispatcher, that means if we select the progress bar here in another UI element, completely below, now there is something called progress bar button clicked. It's an event that we can just select on. It just makes it more easy instead of binding everything manually. So you can click on all of these and create the button clicked event. And when you have done that, then you will probably have like a couple of buttons like this. On the event, the progress bar button clicked of oxygen, health, magic, energy, food, hydration, fatigue, weight, etc. That's now really nice to have. I also got this main menu, and normally it only showed this one, and I'm going to remove that one, the UI player attributes. I'm going to click on the UI top bar again, and I'm going to make sure that the screen that's been selected on the UI player attributes is now my screen attributes with attribute points. So that is this one. Perfect. This will give some errors. We can click on it and now you see, hey, UI player attributes doesn't exist anymore. Correct. Because now it is UI player attributes with attribute points. Nice. So now we don't have the error anymore. So what is next? So now we just listen to this clicked button on the progress bar master. That progress bar master that's duplicated here on oxygen, health, magic, etc. We are binding on clicked buttons right here. This UI play stats with attribute points buttons. That one is being used in a screen called UI play stats attribute buttons with a header and title. That header and title, this complete UI. That one is being placed in our UI player attribute points UI screen like this. And we can just change the position, anchor it in the middle, make sure the alignment is 0.5, 0.5. Enter a size, whatever you prefer. And now you can see that here we have all these bars and also the buttons. So let us check if that is now visible in the UI, and it is. So if we press I, open up inventory, here we see our bars, and you see them decreasing, and now you also see these buttons here on the right side, and we can actually click on them. Nothing is happening because we did not implement anything. However, we are able to. So let's try and do that. So let's go to our player stats with attribute buttons. And I think we should think here, because attribute points are going to be assigned in the level manager, and we want to spend them and use them to, for instance, increase the maximum health. I was thinking this might be a bad approach. Currently, we just created this here in this attribute screen. However, I think you also want to display all the skills and levels. So let's make sure to do that too. So, perfect. So now I also added this skill level screen in the middle, so we can see all our skill levels. If you want to see the values, check here on the right, like so. So now we have attribute points, skill levels, and I was thinking we should also show our attribute points, the amount that we have, maybe here on the top row of this UI. So I was thinking, should we add one here on top, or should we inject it here? I think both are just fine. I think I am going to place them here for now. So by doing so, I created a horizontal box to comment text. I made sure that the text has the style of text small. And I created here this amount of points, and I'm going to bind this amount of points to a skill level manager. And if you don't have this one, I'm going to show you how real quick. On begin play, event construct, cache references. Then we do some stuff like saving attribute manager and inventory manager. But we can also get owning player, get the level manager. If that one is true, also store the skill level manager. And because we're going to use this one a lot in this specific UI, this one, we are saving it. And therefore, we can now get this one, get skill level manager. Let's do an is valid to be sure, just in case someone does not have a skill level manager assigned or stored or a timing issue. And let's get the attribute points. Perfect. And we're going to set the attribute points that we have. Nice. Okay, let's test out if the UI actually shows this. However, please make sure that then on the character that you're using, that you have the skill level manager component assigned. Like so. Okay, let's test it out. Perfect. So now we see all these levels here. We see attribute points 0, and we have these buttons. Okay. Let's just manually give a couple of attribute points by default. So let's go to our character, go to the level manager advanced, and search for the attribute points and set this one to 3. And let's see if that one shows up. And it does. So now we have 3 points. And now we want to do something with these points. And that is clicking on these buttons and then increase our maximum health. So if you remember correctly, we created this wall screen that we use in our main UI. This one has the attribute points screen that's just visual of the background and the title. This one has the child of the UI place that's attributes with buttons. So that's this screen. Here we created a row, bind it and variable to the UI. We have our attributes, and we did bind all our buttons like so. And we can only bind these buttons if we did create an event dispatcher in the progress bar master. So let's now think of a function to say when a button is clicked. Let's then try to spend the attribute button and increase that value. So basically, I think we have two options right now. Let's say you do not have a multiplayer game or a networked game, then the basics will be very simple. I'm just going to show you real quickly. We have our attribute manager component reference, and what we could do is set max health. Like so, and our base value, sorry, scratch that. I have a function for this in attribute manager. Get the function set persistent primary character attribute, select this to maximum health. This one you could make a float. We also can get the current value. So this one will return 100. And we want to do like a value of plus 10. Let's just say something for now. And then set that as that value again. Let's just keep the edit the same as it is. That's just for temporary attributes, etc. And after that happens, get our skill level manager and get our attribute points and decrement the int. So that's decrement int. And now if we connect this, we can test this out. Let's play. Let's spawn somewhere. Let's open up our inventory, go to the attributes. Okay. So now what we see is we have 100 health of the 100. We have 3 attribute points and we can click this plus button and boom. Now we have 110 health. Click it again. Boom. Click it again. Now we have 0 attribute points, but we didn't make any logic for it, so it will go to -1, -2, yeah. But we will get a lot of health. And this is the basics of it, and we can duplicate this code for the oxygen, magic, energy, food, hydration, fatigue, and weight. However, there are a couple of caveats, and that is currently this is being run on the client. So when we decrement an attribute point, that means currently we're also only decrementing this on the client, and I don't think that's the right way to go. And to solve that, basically, what we can do is we can make an event in the skill level manager, call it in the server to change the amount of attribute points. If you want to see how that could be done, I'm just going to quickly show you. The level manager, let's go to the abstract. And let's create a new function or check if we already have the function. I think we already have a function doing that, which is called add or remove attribute points. So basically, the only thing that we have to do is we make a custom event in our abstract. Call that server add or remove attribute points. Perfect. We can also do that for skill points, tactic points, whatever works for you. Let's do it like this. Make sure that this is written on the server. I think I want this to be reliable because I don't want anyone to be able to spend double points in any edge cases. Compile, save. And let's now also go to our level manager advanced. And listen to that event of the server event. Add or remove attribute points. Nope, the wrong one. Server add or remove. Yeah, this one. And when this server event is being called, let's call the function add or remove attribute points. And this means the server is running this, so the server is calling this function. The server, we are setting the attribute points that's replicated back to the client. And we also are propagating back to a client attribute point changed, which is perfect. So now let's go back again to our attribute buttons right here. And get to our skill level manager, say add or remove attribute points. I want to have the event, not the server event. I made a typo, add odd remove, so I'm going to fix that. So now I got this one again. And what I'm going to say, every time when we use an attribute point, do a -1. However, what we also are going to do, before we are going to click on this button, we're going to check get attribute points. And we're going to check, is this currently bigger than 0? And only if that's true, then we can actually spend something. And otherwise, we don't. Nice. All right. Now, let's make sure that this function is a bit more sexy even. So let me check. Because we want to also make sure that this one is being run on the server. And I think I have something called add or remove the attribute value. So that's this one. And this is being called on the server. Let me check. How I'm going to check, I'm just checking the attribute manager. And I'm just going to see what is this function doing. So I'm seeing it gets the base value. It reverts it if -1. It sets it as a local base. Then it does an added value. And then it checks, okay, what was it? And let's say we have these primary character attributes. It's going to set the local base. However, it's first getting the original value. So it's adding it. So this one it's perfect. I already made this. Nice. So let's go back to our UI. So we are going to use this function. And what we're going to do, we're going to select, this is a primary character attribute. And the one that we want to change is maximum health in our example. And instead of getting this one, breaking it, etc., we are going to, well, this is just adding it. So I don't even need to get the original value. Nice. Oh, that's really good. So I can just say do a +10. But now I can also make this a variable and name it amount to add on attribute point spent. Nice. All right. Now I think we can also make this a very cool function, which I also like. Because we have skill level manager, attribute point, etc. And we want to check this all the time. And I think this one, this one is the input of the function, just to say, hey, which one are we currently selecting? And just removing it. Perfect. So I'm going to select all of this and I'm going to collapse this to a function and call this try spend attribute point. Nice. And to which primary character attribute. Really nice. Okay, so now we got maximum health. Copy paste this one. Oxygen. Maximum oxygen. Mana, Magicka, maximum magic. Maximum energy. Maximum food. Where's food? The food is apparently a survival attribute. So that means I need to adapt this function only a small bit. And that is that we also need to be able to define the attribute type. Let's make sure that this one is the first one to select. And the primary attribute one is this one. And otherwise, we are going to select the to which survival attribute. Well, save. So all of these are a non-persistent character. No, that's not true. It's a persistent primary character attributes. Primary character attributes. Primary character attributes. Primary character attribute. And the food is a persistent character survival attribute. And which one? Well, the maximum food. And probably also for the hydration. Maximum hydration. What about fatigue? Where's the fatigue? Oh, that's also survival. Nice. And fatigue. Maximum fatigue. And the weight. Is the weight a primary value? Yes, it is. Nice. So this one to none, this one to maximum inventory weight, and this one to the primary character attribute. Okay, perfect. So now we did assign all the buttons that we can have. And we are able to test this out. Let's press play. So here we are. Press I, go to the attributes. So now we see we have 3 attribute points. Now let's do plus on the hydration. Nice, it's 110. On the food, 110. Again on the food. And now on this one, and it doesn't work because our attribute points have been spent. Yes, awesome. I enjoyed this a lot. This is really fun to make, in my opinion. I hope you can learn from this process. You can see how I'm trying to approach things. Always feel free to leave questions. So, because we are doing this on multiplayer, I'm just going to quickly test as a client, just to see if it also works on the client. Oh, and even better, maybe try to play with 2 players. Because then we can actually see the values changing in real time. So, I have 2 clients, and I'm going to add plus 10 health on that other client. This one, I'm just going to open it up, attributes, and spend it all on health, like so. And now go to the other client, and yes, we see in real time also that the health has been increased because it's not full. Beautiful. When we apply, a bit of lag here. You get Y. But yeah, it's working, so I'm really happy with this, and also probably on this one. Nice. And we can see it also happening on the other client. Nice. So I think that wraps it up. Really, again, I hope you enjoyed, and always feel free to reach out. Have a great day. Bye. Congrats, you have reached the end of this video. And of course, always feel free to reach out, for instance, in the comments below via Discord or mail. And don't forget to check out our website and Discord. I'm happy to talk to you there. Have a nice day. Bye.